They have 3 daughters, one of whom is named Maggie, who is an 8th grader here at Grace St. Luke's School, so we've got a great GSL connection with the Gambles. Looking at Camille, I think about the fact that she graduated from Auburn, War Eagle. Unfortunately, these 2 other guys did not. Al grew up in Tuscumbia, in God's country, in North Alabama. Paul grew up in Chelsea, Alabama, which is in North Alabama as well. Al's been involved in a number of bands. Probably his most, in one sense, his most important is certainly St. Paul and Broken Bones, but outside of that, he's got a great band. You can get 2 of the CDs on iTunes called the Gamble Brothers Band. Outstanding music. Al follows in the footsteps of Booker T in many ways, but when you look at the range of his music and its originality, you see that he is literally groundbreaking as a keyboardist, and we're honored to have you, Al. Paul Janeway is with us as well, and if you know his full name, and you graduated from Auburn, you became concerned quickly. His full name is Paul William Janeway. And I went to Auburn and grew up in Alabama, so I know what Rob and Karen Clark know, and that he is named after Coach Byrne.
Well done.
We're here, Paul, to talk about Jesus and soul music.
Well done.
We're thrilled to have him with us this morning. His band, St. Paul and Broken Bones, he's the vocalist. It's going to be a delight for you to get to hear him and listen to him. It's an absolutely fascinating story. There's a Roseanne Cash tweet about them that says that after she heard them for the first time that she has seen the future of music, and their name is St. Paul and the Broken Bones. We're honored to have both you guys with us to sing a bit, play a bit, and talk about this curious relationship between gospel and soul music. Welcome to GSL.
All right. Now listen, it's what is it, 9:30 in the morning or something like that. So this is gonna be fun for me. I'm not used to doing this at this hour, So y'all bear with us on this one. So we're gonna do a song here called It's Midnight. I wrote it actually to my mom.
Oh, I can't do it no more. My mama told me, son, it won't go away. That old heartache won't stop after it. Oh, please try right now, Paul. Oh, fine, Lord. Oh, you can hear him say, Lord. Oh, just sit and pray, sit and pray. I've been there. Oh, I've been there. Oh, please cry right now. Oh, and let it wash away. You've been lost time, and I hope you find your way. I know it hurts now. But you heal all your wounds. Oh, you can hear him say now, I can feel my now. Oh, just sit and pray, Lord. I've been there. I got to have him all night. I got to have him all
to say something about that song. We do it almost every night, and depending on where in the country we're doing it, it's interesting because when we started, we do a little intro, and Paul kind of gives a little background on the song, and he requires an amen out of the crowd, and in the South, it's not a problem. But in Los Angeles, you can feel the reluctance of the people to say amen. And he requires 3 or 4. And what's great about it is by about the 3rd or 4th time, you can feel there's a sense of liberation amongst the crowd because they're okay with it by that time because he's demanding it. And it's really funny in different spots of the country.
Yeah, we did it over in Germany. And that one was a little more difficult than usual. And not because I think they don't go to church or anything, it's just didn't understand what I was saying. Yeah, it happens. When you're in other countries and you think, oh, what, you don't talk like me? And that's kind of how it went. It was a lot of fun. What are we doing now?
Did you have anything?
Yeah. Hey, Paul, why don't you, I got my mic on here. It seems like Paul's mic's pretty good this morning. You don't hear him in the back? I usually don't need a mic. Say a little bit about your growing up. You got a great story about the influence of church on you. You learned music in church. They let you be in the back of the band. They didn't let you sing much. Say a little bit about how it influences you, but yet how you've taken it in some new directions.
Well, when I grew up, my first solo singing in church was when I was about 4 years old. Now, it's a lot different than the Episcopalian church. We did a lot of hooping and hollering, and I call it a fun church. And, but we really had a really that's the way I grew up, and my mom and dad would only let me listen to gospel music or a little tingling of soul. So soul was my only rebellion, really. I could listen to Sam Cooke and Marvin Gaye, and someone like Obi Wright or James Carr and stuff like that. And so that's how I grew up, and so that's how I thought that's what singers are supposed to sound like. I never thought you're supposed to sound like Celine Dion or anything like that. I always thought you're supposed to sound like Sam Cooke and Marvin Gaye, Otis Redding. And so now I'm at this point, where when I was probably about 18, I was from about 10 on to 18, I was being trained to be a pastor. I never dreamed about being in front of y'all and singing. I always dreamed about being a preacher. It was a preacher, not a pastor or a priest. It was a preacher. And that's what I dreamed of being. And I kind of do that now in a way. So this is not uncomfortable for me in any way. And so, but it's a lot of fun. The strangest thing is that I never thought I was a good singer because my pastor, I think, was teaching me a bit in humility, and he would put me in the back. I would never sing lead. I'd always be singing background vocals, and he'd never let me sing lead. So I think he probably taught me a little too much about humility, and so I never thought I was a good singer. And obviously now I feel it a little differently, but yeah, I guess things have changed now.
Hey, Paul, would you mind? Tell us a little bit about, and if you don't mind, there's that story about you leaving church, and please know you're in a warm, friendly crowd here. We understand that we're all grateful for the church, and we love it. But we also realize the church, like any institution, like any community, is broken and troubled as well. There's a powerful story you've told before about what led you to leave, and it was related to healing, or the absence of healing.
Well, so like I said, my church was pretty wild, and I mean like it was very charismatic. And one of the biggest things that really hit me hard, and I had a hard time dealing with, was when I was about 16, 17. We you have people come in and they heal, they heal you and stuff like that. And one thing that stuck out to me, and I'll never forget this, and it's all about having enough faith to be healed. It's kind of a name and claim thing. And there was a woman with cancer. I think it was breast cancer, or no, it was a brain tumor. And they were sitting at her bedside, and they were telling her, just get up, and kept trying to do that. And she ended up passing away. And what hit me so hard about that is that she passed away thinking that she didn't have enough faith to be healed. And that was just growing up and that being your atmosphere, like that just, you go, that doesn't sound right to me.
Right.
And so I grew away from that, and in a way rebelled a little bit, but nothing too bad. But I really developed a lot of venom for the church, because now it's just much different. I mean, my fiance's Episcopalian, so listen, I wouldn't do this for just anybody, all right? Only you Episcopalians get a little treat. But so she's actually been really great about soothing that for me. I mean, when I started going to services with her, and the only thing we need to work on in the Episcopal Church, is the music. And I know it's not your fault if you're the music director here. I know how it goes. That's the one thing we got to work on, all right?
Say a little bit about how do you, before you play your next one, you thought about being a preacher, you're comfortable in this environment. How does your music, how do you think about it bringing comfort and maybe even healing to people? Do you think about it in those terms?
I mean, there's definitely this weird experience you go through with an audience. It does feel like you're taking them to the Church of St. Paul, and a little bit, and so there's definitely that's the greatest thing I could hear from somebody. I had this weird moment, or I had a bad day, and though I think it's probably temporary, happiness, it's still something that you really take pride in and you really enjoy. And I think that's why you do music. That's why you have those moments.
Say a word about your band name.
St. Paul and the Broken Bones. That's the name of the band. I'm sure some of y'all will know what that means. The St. Paul part is because I guess I'm just that arrogant to call myself a saint. Jesse, our bass player, I don't drink or smoke. Now I have a bit of salty language, all right? I'm going to keep that at a minimum here. But I don't really do much. I'm pretty boring. I go home and watch Netflix, and that's about it for me. And so they kind of give me the moniker of St. Paul, and then the Broken Bones is actually the band name, I guess, quote, quote. And so the first song that me and Jesse ever wrote for this band was called Broken Bones and Pocket Change. And so the line goes, broken bones and pocket change is all she left me with. And so all she really left me with was this band and no money. And so that's kind of where it came from. It's a play off that.
Before you do your next one, do we need to ask him to just leave the mic in the stand?
Yeah.
All right. So we think you're all right with the mic without.
All right. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll do half the city. I'm going to have to stand up. I'm sorry.
Oh, this poor lonely heart
religion and music. And one of the things we've been thinking about, we had Luther Dickinson 2-3 weeks ago. It was great. And had Robert Gordon, who's written a great book on soul music, his most recent one, and another, done several films on music. And one of the things we've been thinking about is there's a great Bonnie Raitt quote that I actually first heard in one of Robert Gordon's films about gospel and blues music. And Bonnie Raitt says that the interesting thing about a lot of American music, but especially soul and blues, is you can be singing about your baby on Saturday night and God on Sunday morning. And the funny thing is, Raitt says, the two are almost interchangeable, and the songs would still mean the same thing. And I think we would get you down to do, are you able to do Call Me, or is that the one you struck?
No, we could, false it down.
What's
I'm
that?
down to do whatever.
All right. Well, really, actually, Al's in charge, not you.
Oh, no.
But the funny thing is, these guys, they played Little Rock last night, got in about 3:30 this morning, and they're playing the Levitt Shell tonight, and they're on to San Francisco. So, guys, we're so grateful that you're here. So Al is trying to do a better job than Paul will of saving his voice. I've heard in one interview, Paul, you say that you sing every note like it's your last. Amen. Wait, tell us about how you or Paul, that Raitt quote, I mean, how, when you think about a song like Call Me, if you do that, it is funny to think about that God and our love for others and our music, it really could be interchangeable. Do y'all think about things like that?
Well, there's the great Simpsons quote that a Christian singer turned to a secular singer, and they said all they did was change Jesus for baby. Yeah. And so really, it is weird because I think it's extremely interchangeable. Like the same feeling I used to get when you had that like moment of like and is almost the exact same feeling I get when we play a show. And it's this weird and I'm like, I don't know if I'm supposed to be feeling this right now. Like this is kind of weird, but to me it is. It's I think it's extremely interchangeable. I mean that's the roots of soul music, is from gospel to blues, to soul, and so it's I think it's a natural progression, and I think that's totally legit. Yeah, we can do call if you want to do it. Dude.
Yeah, I'll tell you. I told you I don't need a microphone.
This ain't the heart out there that I thought it'd be now.
Let's see if we can get Al and Camille, they're Episcopalians here in Memphis. Let's see if we can get Al to give an alternative take on Episcopal music. And in all seriousness, you know, you're a keyboardist, you play organ, so to speak. In all seriousness, you need to know our organist, who's really good, is not in the house this morning because they're rehearsing. Yeah, so it's among us. Al, do you like organ music and Episcopal music?
I appreciate the technical skill is required. It's really, unbelievable. And the first 12 years or so of my life, I was a Methodist. So it was just a rocky musical experience, Methodist, Episcopalian. Woo! It was crazy. No, it's,
Camille says.
I also grew up Methodist.
Camille grew up Methodist, and she misses a melody. You know what, y'all, in all seriousness, y'all need to come worship with us. We don't do as many dirges as a lot of Episcopal churches do. No, we actually don't. I'll say that on video. Our music's a lot better than Calvary's. And I would go up against that Chris Garata in the pulpit any day of the week. He's a good friend of mine, by the way. Before we do this next song, and we might have time for one or two more, but I'd love to do Everybody Knows. Is that a reasonable one? Okay. And before you do that one, and you're going to see, if you've not heard this song before when you do it, just the sense of longing in this song. And one of the things we talked about with Robert Gordon is the desire for, in music, the desire for transcendence. Whether it's God, or healing, or the promised land, or something more, or for your baby to call you, that sense, that longing. Would you say a word about that, maybe from both of you, before you do that?
Well, I mean, I think, goodness, that's what it's all about. It's trying to find, trying to get to that, wherever that is, that higher plane, or whatever it is, and that's, goodness, that's what all, I feel terrible, I feel like most of my songs are about that longing and trying to figure things out, and it's really, that's really the basis, and I guess just trying to, I don't know where you try to go or what you try to do, but that's the whole thing, is just that longing inside of you, kind of having something, either something missing or you found something, and then, that's what it's all about. What about you, Al?
Well, I don't have anything to say about that, but you can maybe tell them a little bit about the singer of this song, originally Mr. O.V. Wright, who lived here in Memphis on North Parkway, actually, I think, at one time. How did he die, Paul?
I think it was a heroin overdose.
Oh.
That's a real uplifter. Yeah, I didn't think y'all be hearing that this morning, did you? But yeah, O.V. Wright is actually one of my all-time favorite soul singers, and he's not as well known as maybe like Otis Redding or Sam Cooke, but he was actually on Backbeat in an old indie independent Memphis soul label called Gold Wax that James Card and that were on. So this song to me is like, is kind of our homage that we get to do every once in a while, every show. We sometimes let the horn players sing backgrounds, and they've gotten really bad at it. So cut it out. But yeah, we can do that song. River song?
Everybody knows the catfish got no skin. Everybody knows cotton on the bed. The Mississippi River, deep in muddy streams, oh, deep in muddy streams. I just sit on that bank and fish while I sing. I sing this right here. You sing, oh, 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 na na na. Oh, oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's longing for transcendence. You know, Al has been in several bands, great music history, and you've got a bright future, clearly. But tell us a little bit, you've had a little bit more of a wandering path these last few years. What's it felt like? First of all, because they might not know, where have you been like the last 2, 3, 4 years, and what have you stumbled upon in the last year or two?
Well, I had a hard time getting out of high school because, yeah, and, you know, I'm not stupid, I promise. But I ended up, my dad worked for a paving and construction company. He said, well, if you're not going to go to college, we'll make you work. And so I had a job as basically a parts runner in a mechanic shop. And I was the lowest man on the totem pole. I'd go get them parts, and I'd go around Birmingham. I'd cut grass. And I would work on the crews when it was about 100 degrees. Man, do I not miss that. And but then I guess when the economy went bad, I lost my job. So I was unemployed for about a year and a half. And so I decided when I was living, my dad had a 2-bedroom apartment, and I was living in the one of the bedrooms, and there's like 3 other people living in there. And so I was like, man, I gotta figure out how to get out of this. And so I took a job. I was 25 years old. I took a job at Hibbett's Sporting Goods, which is a sporting chain. I don't know if is it here in Memphis? No. Okay, it's a sporting goods store where you sell tennis shoes and stuff like that. I got hired by an 18-year-old, and nothing is more humiliating than an 18-year-old asking, "Where do you see yourself in 5 years?" And so that was a real wake-up call. I was like, you know what? I got to figure out what I'm going to do with my life, and I decided to go to a community college. For some reason, I fell in love with economics and accounting, of all things. And so I actually went to UAB, and also got a job as a bank teller, a part-time bank teller. So I was a part-time bank teller, going to school full-time for accounting. And I still don't know why my fiance was with me at the time, but she stuck it through.
How fantastic would have been, like, for somebody to pull up for you as a bank teller and, like, have nothing in the account, and you just start moaning, oh.
Yeah, you know, that's really what people love, for you to come into their bank and making a comment about their account. Ugh! You know. Oh, wow, you know, but that was I did get recognized one time when this thing started off, and I was still working at it as a teller, and I had this guy come in he came in like once a week with another item for me to sign. I'm like, man, we got a ton of papers back there that I've signed about 18 times. Y'all can come on and get those, but then actually the most bizarre thing about that, I was sitting here, my life trajectory was actually going up. You know, I was feeling good about myself. Had this beautiful girl who was way smarter than me, and then this band showed up and ruined everything. And so I actually had to take a big, kind of a leap of faith, and then we had a showcase at South by Southwest. And if y'all don't know what that is, that's a huge music festival where all booking agents, record labels, all sorts of people are at this conference. And I told them, I sent them, I said, hey, Wells Fargo, this is where I'm going. This is. I need to be off here. I said, it's been nice having you as an employee. I really appreciate it. And so I had to quit my job, and we didn't have a booking agent or anything. And that South by Southwest, we got one of the best booking agents in the country. He came to one of our shows. He said the moment I got down on my knees, he's like, I'm done. I'm yours. And so we ended up doing it. It's been a crazy journey since then.
Say a word, if you will. I understand you got a phone call recently that was significant. Do you mind?
Yeah, it's fine.
Now listen, I hadn't mentioned this in interviews.
Camille told us.
No. I haven't
Of course you do.
I haven't mentioned this in interviews, but my manager, I was actually watching Rise of the Planet of the Apes. And I get a text from my manager. It's like, hey, Elton John wants your number. And I said, yeah. I said, go ahead, give Elton John my number. Yeah, sure. And she called me the next day, and she said, I'm serious. Elton John's going to call you. And I'm getting married in December, and I'm on my way, me and my fiance, I'm going to go get my ring fit and all that stuff, and she's getting her wedding band. And I receive a call, and it's got that plus sign on it. And I'm like, oh, that ain't American. And I pick it up, and it's like, hello, this is Elton John. And I'm like, oh my God. I have a terrible British accent. They really don't love it over there. But anyway, I'm sitting here, and I'm like, I'm on the phone with Elton John, and I'm just like, yeah. And he's telling me how much he loves the band and is really enthusiastic, and I'm just unbelievably I'm like, man, this is amazing. Like Elton John is talking to me right now, and he's saying, hey, he apparently has a house in Atlanta, and it's like, when he's around, he wants to meet us all, and what I don't forget is walking into the jewelry store and saying, Like I couldn't help but be like, Elton John called me. And the guy was like, okay, I'm sure he did, buddy. You're gonna have to give me cash for that ring now. But yeah, I'll never forget it. So yeah, that was a pretty amazing call.
Listen, before you do your last one, hey Al, would you say a word about maybe how this band compares to your other bands and the music you've done? And then also, what do you think about the future of soul music? Are y'all the beginning of a larger wave, or are you unique? I mean, I know you're unique, but is this the sort of forebear of more to come from other bands?
That's good. You know, there's a label in New York called Daptone, and they do soul music really well. They're a little more, I don't know how you say, polished. It's very, I mean, it's really, really good, well recorded and everything. But our thing is a little more raw, I would say, and you know, with Paul, it's just so, I don't know, emotional. It's real, and you know, as far as the future for soul music, I'm not really sure. It's kind of funny that you talk about the future of something that's from the past, but we're putting our own modern thing to it. I don't know. Paul can probably elaborate more than I can.
Well, I mean, I hope we're the future of soul music so that we, get paid more. That'd be nice. I think in this day and age, as anybody, I think real instruments, real voices, real kind of emotion has kind of been taken out of music a little bit. You hear a lot of the computer stuff, which is fine. I mean, it has its place, but I think that people are really, we've just noticed that there's a lot of people just seeking out some sort of real experience, and I think that soul music is like the bare bones of that. Gospel music is that is the bare bones of like that raw emotion, and not that anything as far as lyrically is ever super sophisticated in soul music. It's always like my baby left me, or that kind of thing. But at the same time, it's like that's why I think a lot of people are seeking that out now. So we've been able to, I guess, fill that a little bit for folks, and so it's been yeah. I think soul music is sampled in hip hop music all the time, and that's where a lot of people I think it's kind of circled around. It's like, oh, I love hip hop. Now it's back to soul.
In some of these bigger festivals, a lot of times the main headliner will be an electronic dance. Two guys with a computer pushing buttons, and that's the head. That's so. In this day and age, it's for us to be actually playing instruments and singing. It's kind of rare.
Again, we're honored to have both of you. If you want to hear more tonight, we're at the Levitt Shell. I know Al's played the Levitt Shell a lot. Paul, is this you've been to the Shell before?
One time and nobody was there.
We think we're going to change that tonight. Y'all start at 7:30. Sorry. 7
o'clock.
7 o'clock tonight at the Levitt Shell. You're all invited, and as always, it's a free event, so we'd love to see you there. What are you going to do last for us?
All right, we'll do broken both pocket change.
Young love has made me old.
Thank you so much.
Let us bless the Lord.